Maestro, usare curiosity.
Hey guys, Smash Bandit here with another episode of Let's Build Houston in City Skylines. We're right where we left off last time, and that is in the Washington Corridor area, which is right here. And today we're going to develop from the intersections of Washington and Shepherd and Durham out this way, and we're going to get this whole area. I guess this is the very edge of the map, but we're going to get this area here from roughly I-10 to Memorial Parkway zoned and ready to go. Now, I think we're going to start some simulation today, so that'll be pretty good. So without any further ado, let's jump into time lapse and get the roads all laid out, and then we can get into some simulation. Stick around. See you in a bit. Alright, so there we go. We've added in all of the streets in this area of town. Well, at least in this immediate area of town. Basically, I basically wanted to make sure I got the Shepherd, Durham, Washington intersection completed. And I stretched it all the way down. And I made sure that Shepherd east to at least Waugh was completed. So this area is completed. And then I realized just how many roads that is. It's incredible. I also went ahead and added a little bit over here because I remembered that this is an industrial area. And actually I put this asset in. This is I don't know if you've seen this. I love this asset. This is the Chirpy Crisps. It's an awesome factory / tourist attraction. It has jobs and it attracts the tourists. It's pretty cool. And I put that there because there is a Mahatma rice factory on Sawyer, on this street Sawyer here. And if you're going in this direction, it's right before you hit the Target, and there's some fancy lofts, and there's a bike trail, and there's a bunch of strip centers in here, and there's a Chick-fil-A right there. I think it's funny that there's this fairly large industrial area with the rice factory right next to Target. So I went ahead and also put in a power station, and it's right here, and you're like, well, is there really a no, there isn't really a nuclear power plant anywhere near this area, but I do need some power, and I figured rather than sticking it way off in the corner and running pylons everywhere, running power lines everywhere, I would just go ahead and put this in here and stretch it a little less intensely. North of Washington, in between Washington and the train tracks here, this area is a little bit industrial. Like, yeah, this is commercial here, but behind it, it's all like warehouses and stuff. So we're going to use the theme mod to make sure that we have an industrial area that's basically just warehouses. So we'll see how that ends up working out for us. I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be pretty cool. So with that being said, let's go ahead and do some zoning. First things first, we need some residential. Now, those apartments that another thing I added before we get into that was this school right here. This is the St. Thomas High School. That's the area I was talking about with one of the Astros players, Craig Biggio, and his son. And this right here, this high school for law enforcement, they are both, I have two high schools here. And I just threw in this is actually, you could see on the map, that's where the football field really is. And when we were living there, they were building this giant parking garage. So I put in a parking garage. There's a lot of empty space. I mean, the school building is much bigger than the in-game high school. It's, all this area here. But that'll have to work. I can fill this in with some paths and trees and stuff. But anyway, along this road and along Memorial Parkway here are apartments. And so I'm going to go ahead and use I'm going to paint them in. I'm going to go ahead and use the high density. And I'm getting right up here to the Memorial Drive. Now, in reality, Memorial Drive doesn't have any development on it, or you can't access it. But for the sake of the look, I'm going to go ahead and throw it in there. And this is actually not this. Yeah, this side is all apartment complex. It's all one of those. It's all a giant apartment complex. So I'm going to put it all the way up to there. That'll all be that apartment. And actually, this is all apartments as well. And along is this Jackson Hill. Is that the street? Yeah, Jackson Hill. This is all apartment here. In fact, we'll go ahead and make all this apartments. And they claim it's quote-unquote luxury apartments, and that's a farce. Everything down here is labeled luxury apartment. Tell you what, these apartments were not luxury. They're in a very nice area of the city, very close to one of the most expensive areas in the city, and as such, they can charge an absolute arm and a leg for them. It's highway robbery, I tells you. Yeah, so we lived there my wife lived there before we were married by herself, and then we eventually moved in together. And she lived there for a whole year and a half before I moved in with her, and then we lived there for a little over a year again. So, and then we moved out. We got priced out. We got priced out of a really crummy apartment complex because it's around some really nice neighborhood. So, anywho, there's a teeny weeny tiny little bit of commercial right in here. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of that one. Right when I move down here, and then, yeah, this would all be school property. So I'm going to extend it just to here, I think. And then we'll make the rest the school property. But this little bit right here, I actually parked here. There's a little parking lot here. Right by the gate, and the guy yelled at me because I wasn't buying anything from his little convenience store, but I couldn't get into the gate because I didn't live there yet, and my girlfriend wasn't around to let me in. Anyway, well, never mind. Let's move on. All up, in fact, everything, if I pull up the map, everything here is commercial. This is all a commercial area in between Shepherd and Durham. And now I had this weird thing when I was laying these down. I couldn't get exact 90-degree angles, and I guess I'm going to have to live with it. There's really not much I can do about it. So, and then here, this is commercial. There's a sushi restaurant here, and you can see Max's Wine Dive, and I think there's just a couple cell phone stores, and this. So this is all commercial here. So I was going to throw all that in now. There. So there we go. And everything else down in here is residential. I'm going to start pretty simply. We've got that cooking. Now, there's a lot of townhomes in this area, but there's also a lot of standalone single-family homes. So it's going to be a little weird. So I think what I might do is I might play around with the themes, but for now, I'm going to go ahead and just do the low density residential. I think that'll work just fine for now. And I'm not going to zone too much at once because I don't want to run into that problem where you know, after a generation of life in this game, there's a mass death. I'm going to try to avoid that. So I'll do that by zoning, smaller chunks. And when we need the industrial area, it'll be pretty easy because we'll be able to simply zone over by the rice factory. I still think that's pretty funny. And where's my zoning? Oh, I'm running right through it. Alright, I can get rid of this then. Cool. Well, that should be fine. Let me see. So let's crank it up and let's get some building going, or get some zones built. So hopefully it'll all eventually attach over there. I'm just going to let it go. I've already put down the water. I've got water all for this area, and we've got electricity. One of the things we're going to have to work on is the trash. But for now, I'm just going to throw them over here as we need them. So we have no electricity over there. But this creates electricity, so we'll make this a little area. Hopefully that'll... Oh, I got no water over here either. There we go. Alright. Cool. So now we have our trash taken care of. And we'll wait to see what happens. Oh, there's no water down here either? Oh, man. Oh, man. Laying water, the most boring part of City Skylines. I think so, at least. So let's see, what do we got cooking over here? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, see... I wasn't smart. Here, I'm going to pause this and pull out the old dezone tool, because I don't want those. I definitely don't want those European buildings. Just aren't going to cut it. So we are going to have to go ahead and use themes. So what I'm going to do is, I think if I go to policies and then go to themes, I can do themes for the entire city. Let's go for international right now, and then I can fiddle around with that theme later. Yeah, I can mess around with this off camera. Yeah. Yeah, I can mess around with this off camera and fix it, but it'll at least get us started. It won't, it'll get rid of all of those European buildings that are really nice, but not what we want. Not what we want at all. So goodbye. Get out. And we'll try that again. Yeah, we'll try that one again. Let's zone all this again. There we go. Yeah, let's see what that'll do for us. Hopefully that'll look better. So we're gonna let that cook. I'm probably gonna have to get rid. Okay, see, I still got a European building coming up, and I don't much care for that. I wonder if this is from the European city I was building. Yeah, see, there's a lot of these I still don't want. Okay. Oh, all my stuff is dying. Oh, that won't be too hard to fix, so we'll just go ahead and... There, that should take care of all of this. Go! Come on. Really? Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? There. Alright, there we go. Hooray. So we don't have any demand for anything. What I want to do also, while we're letting this zone, is I want to continue building the roads here. I want to continue with Memorial Drive. I want to continue with this Memorial Drive here. So what happens to it here is it actually turns, well, after this intersection, which isn't really an intersection. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It turns into a two-lane road. So, yeah, basically this lane juts off, and then it all turns into a two-lane road. So I'm going to go ahead and change it all to a two-lane road, and then we're going to continue onward with this. I'm just going to go ahead and throw this in. I have no idea what that little part right there is all about. I don't know what that's for. But again, I'll figure it all out. You know, I'll get to it. I'll do it someday. I'll figure it out. All right. So what's happening here is we're having this lane becomes a turn lane, but at the same time there's an intersection here, and then there's a lane there's a bypass bridge, and then there's a lane. It's confusing. So if you were to look at the map, you'd be like, what, huh? So here we go. Let's see if I can explain this better just by doing it for you. So 1, 2, 3, we'll do that, and let's go ahead and then once it crosses over Allen Parkway, it comes back down. And in fact, yeah, it even does it before Kirby. Yeah. And then it'll merge back here. Alright, so there we go. So there, that is the Shepherd Drive overpass. And what ends up happening is we have all these little one-ways. Oh, I didn't have it come back down. That's not good. That's not how we do it. That's not how we do it. There we go. There we go. That's better. Yeah, that's good. And what we do is we have an offshoot here for that way. And what happens is over here, you can see that there's this it's really wide here, and it's wide because there's actually it comes down here and it creates its own intersection down here, and then it crosses the bayou by itself. Oh, except it does it way tighter than that. Okay, I wonder if we can get it closer. Let's see if we can. Yes. While our demand is cooking here. Alright, I guess we can't. I guess that's as close as we're going to be able to get. We can't get underneath. Oh, we can! Sweet! I will take this if it sort of works. It's, yeah. It's one of those things you're going to have to fudge. You know? And then Allen Parkway, well, I guess I'll have to put that into Allen Parkway, which actually becomes Kirby at this point. Continues. It continues this way. The space is already occupied. So it is. So it is. So let's go ahead and do that one again. There we go. Man, I'm a little disappointed that I wasn't able to include Kirby Drive into this build, but c'est la vie. C'est la vie. I'm getting quiet and concentrating here. This is a little more complicated than I was really planning, but that's okay. Excuse me. There, now let's add those one-ways again. Yeah, it's like right before it turns into a bridge. Maybe a little bit back here. Or maybe even farther back, like here. Oh, come on. Give it to me. I won't do it. What if I did a straight line? It likes the straight line better. But see, we're still way over too far. But again, we'll just have to pretend. And what happens here is we have a one way there, and we have a dedicated this way. Which is really funky, but it is what it is. And then, like I said, this one, which is technically a one-way. Yeah. But again, well, we can... Oh, I have it as a one-way. Good. Comes across, connects. And it's the same thing. Oh, I gotta think now. Oh, I gotta think. So I know that's right. I'll have to go back and look and double check that. So what are we doing here? Oh, we have some crime problems. That's what happens when you don't put any police stations down. Now, I am not sure of where police stations are. So I'm just going to fudge it, and I will look at it, and maybe we'll have to move them around. I know we'll have to move them around. But for now, we'll just put them pretty much where we need them to get the best coverage. So that'll be fine. Well, that'll sort of be fine. We might need to put some down there, too. Yeah, we'll throw one down here as well. We'll say that the school... Oh, well, it would only make sense that by the high school for law enforcement that we would have, you know, a police station. That only makes, you know, a little bit of sense. So let's go ahead and do that. Pow. And that'll get most of them. Excellent. We need some death care. And if you look at my map, we have this giant cemetery, this Glenwood Cemetery. So for now, I'm just going to plop that there. Probably going to need some electricity. Oh, no, I don't. Sweet, but I need water. Need me some water. So let's put it there. Great. We've got that taken care of. Fire. Let's get some fire coverage in there. I guess on the corner here. Oh, there is actually somewhere on one of these there is a fire station. I think it's on this side. It's near Washington. So actually, we'll go ahead and put it right there because I think that'll work. I think that'll work. Cool. One thing I'm missing are elementary schools. I couldn't find anywhere to put them. So we're going to go ahead and just slap a couple down to help with our edumacations. That's right, I said edumacations. And I can double check the services at another time. Oh good, more demand for the res. So let's put in more residential. We'll zone this whole area here. Cool. Alright, wow, lots of this Salem pub. That asset likes to be built. I bet you it's because of the wonkiness and the lack of large footprints, because it's all messed up because I don't have perfect squares. So, gotta make do with it though. I'll have to work. Some of these are like that little one right there. Here, let me get rid of this. That little one right there actually doesn't look too terribly bad. That's pretty close to what we have here. That's real close as well, especially in the suburbs. In this area, that's a little fancy. There's more row homes and stuff, so I'll see what I can fiddle with. How did this area develop? Wow, that's a lot more high dense. I know what the problem is as well. We're going to need to put a ban, a high-rise ban. We definitely need a high-rise ban for this. And that didn't do anything because those are not high-rises technically. So that is very overdeveloped, but it's what it is. This area is all apartments, so that's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's definitely going to be. It's really weird how flat Houston is, like building-wise. It's downtown. There's skyscrapers, and then nothing, really not much anywhere else. There's a couple along Allen Parkway, but other than that, there's nothing. So, cool. Well, I'm excited. Oh, now that we have it cooking, I'm getting kind of excited. This is starting to really kind of shape up, and that's neat to see. It's getting to be like, yeah, all right. So sorry I put that one in. Look at all the busy peeps go. Cool. We can always put in bus lines. I can tell you about my adventure on the number 6 bus. You get on it right here. And it brought us all the way, I don't know how it did it, but it brought us all the way to to Minute Maid, which is going to be over here for a ball game. We got out right here. Well, we hopped back on the 6 thinking it would take us back. Oh no. In the daytime, the 6 comes over here. At nighttime, the 6 goes somewhere up in here where it's a really not nice place to be at like 11 o'clock after a ball game. So we can put in the crazy-ass bus lines in Houston that make no sense. See, in Chicago, where I was born and raised and got used to public transportation, you got on one bus to go to a place, and you got on the same bus to go back to that place. That's apparently not how it works down here. So, alright. Still haven't gotten much of an industrial demand, which is fine. We're already up to over 2,000 people. Cool. Neat. What's our roads looking like? So they're using the highways. Good. I hope you don't hear that dog barking. If you hear that dog barking, I do apologize. I have some neighbors with outdoor dogs, and my goodness, they let them go. They just let them go. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it. What did this end up with? Down and out burger. Meh. And whatever that store is, and a donut store, and a car wash. That's not even close, but whatever. And these buildings just keep leveling up. Oh, they're only level 2s? Those are huge level 2s. I need more like this. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to fiddle with themes. And I'm going to try and get the international theme to be what I want it to be for this build. And I even might make my own, I'll call it Houston International. And it'll just be the generic zoning for this map. And I think that'll work just fine. So, on that note, I think I'm going to end it here for today. And I want to say thanks for watching. And please, please, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and share if you enjoyed this video. I'm digging it. And be sure to join us for the next episode. Thanks so much. Have a great day.